Join us as we test out some of the best air fryer recipes on the internet.
Welcome to our channel, we're Freya and Charlie, and today, like Charlie said, we are going to be trying out some of the internet's best air fryer recipes. So we recently got an air fryer, we've never really used one before, so we thought let's go to the internet and see what are like the most highest rated, most searched, highest reviewed recipes out there.
Viral recipes.
The viral recipes, and we looked across all different platforms. We were on TikTok, Pinterest, Instagram, blogs, Google search, that kind of thing.
I've got high hopes for the air fryer. I've heard a lot of things about it. People have said that it can really sort of change the way that you cook and it's really convenient. To me, it kind of seems like this magic box, but we'll see how magic it really is.
Definitely, and we've picked a kind of variety of different types of recipes. So if you're looking for tips and kind of inspiration on how to use your air fryer at home, you're just kind of intrigued, is it really worth buying an air fryer? Then this is the video for you. Come and try these recipes out with us. So the first recipe that we are going to be trying is a vegan buttermilk air fried chicken. So we have bought these vegan chicken breasts and we're going to make a like a batter and then do it in a really nice breadcrumb following a recipe that we found online. And this one has got loads of great reviews, so we're hoping it's going to be delicious.
To begin this recipe, we're going to make the two-part batter for the vegan chicken. In the full recipe by Thank You Very Much, they actually make the vegan chicken themselves using a mix of vital wheat gluten, jackfruit and tofu with some other ingredients. And I'm sure this would be absolutely delicious, but we're skipping this step and buying ours from the supermarket like Freya said before. We're going to be using the impeccable chicken breast from the vegetarian butcher. Once both the dry and wet parts of the batter are made, it's as simple as dipping your chicken breast into the wet and then coating it in the dry flour and breadcrumb mix. Then we're going back into the wet again and the dry for a second time to get as much batter on as we can. Next, the recipe wants us to coat the battered chicken with oil. We tried using a pastry brush as we were instructed to, but found the oil spray much easier to use for this. Once the dry batter got some oil on it though from the spray bottle, it was actually much easier to use the pastry brush than before, so we used that to add some more oil on. And then from here, it's into the air fryer. The one that we're using has a preheat function, so once it got up to heat, we popped the vegan battered chicken into the basket along with the parchment paper. Halfway through, it gets a turn to cook evenly and then back in for another 10 minutes. And it's that simple. We have made vegan buttermilk chicken in the past, and doing it this way in the air fryer is definitely a lot simpler and a lot easier to clean up. And you don't have to worry about the dangers of heating up a large amount of oil on the hob, or about what to do with the oil once you're finished with it. Yeah, that's pretty good. Compared to shallow frying it in like a bunch of oil in the pan, it's not exactly the same. It's never going to be exactly the same, but the outside is still really crispy and the vegan chicken inside is still really tender and juicy. And if you wanted something a little bit fresher and lighter and nowhere near as oily, this definitely gives you the crunch you're looking for too. So I'd say it works really well as a substitute for fried vegan chicken.
When we were looking up air fryer recipes, one of the most common things that kept coming up again and again on TikTok, Pinterest, Google, the potato. So we had to try a trending potato recipe, and these look super delicious. They're pretty simple. We're not doing any kind of like fancy like Hasselback style or anything like that. They're just good old-fashioned roast potatoes with some nice spices. Yeah, we're hoping they go really crispy and delicious. So let's show you how to do it.
So for this second recipe, we have a bit of a better understanding of what the air fryer can do, but we still want to keep things simple as we don't want to run before we can walk. There's not too much to this recipe. It's cutting up the potato into nice bite-sized pieces and then seasoning it with some paprika, garlic powder, salt and pepper, all that kind of stuff. Once all the potatoes and spices have had a good mix, it all goes into the air fryer for around 20 minutes. One thing that I've learnt about air fryers so far is that they're really convenient. It doesn't really do anything groundbreaking, it's essentially just a fast little oven, but it does that job really well. and the model we've been loaned is quite smart. The built-in clock reminds us halfway through to give everything a toss, and it's so simple that I can confidently walk away from it and focus on doing something else. Our potatoes came out looking amazingly golden and crispy. Make sure to go and check out the original creators of these recipes. You'll find their links in the description. We served them simply with a bit of parsley, salt, pepper and tomato sauce.
Really good. They're not that crispy, but they're cooked really well, and definitely a lot quicker than the oven. I think that's the main thing about the air fryer, is that it's just making everything so much faster. Like, these only took 20 minutes, and I feel like in the oven they would take at least like 45 minutes. I think if you wanted them crispy, you just add a bit more oil and cook them for a little bit longer. Our next recipe is using probably one of my most favourite ingredients ever, and it's tofu. And I think this is the thing that I've been most excited to try out in the air cooker, because so many people have recommended it. I've seen so many videos on like the crispiest tofu ever. I'm hoping that the air fryer is going to come through and give us super crispy tofu. So this is a very simple tofu recipe using a few spices and corn flour. So let's get into it.
We're super used to cooking tofu. We use it all the time in our kitchen, so we know exactly what we're looking for when it comes to crispy tofu. We've started to notice that a lot of these air fry recipes are incredibly simple and easy to do. At its heart, you're coating what you'd like to cook in a little oil and some seasoning. In this case, it's soy to start, and then onion powder, garlic powder and salt. This recipe uses corn flour too to coat the tofu for a little extra crispiness, and then finishes it off with some sesame oil. This tofu is super quick. It only takes 8 minutes in the air fryer. You could easily use this time to prepare some noodles or reheat some rice. One drawback that we find is that most air fryers only have one drawer, so you can only really do one thing at a time. It's not the magic box that I first thought it was, but really it's just a kitchen tool the same way a pot or pan is. The air fryer won't cook you the whole meal, but it'll cook you one thing really efficiently. After only 8 minutes, our tofu is looking golden and darkening and crispy at the edges. Exactly what we'd be looking for if we were cooking it how we're used to in oil. So just looking at them straight off, they look really crispy and not oily at all. Like when you get them out of the pan, sometimes they're a little like, you see the oily sheen to them, but they're not that at all. That's alright. It's definitely not as crispy as you get it with oil. Maybe if we left it in the air fryer for a bit longer it would get crispier. Taking into consideration the amount of oil that's actually been used in this recipe, how crispy they are is really impressive. So yeah, thumbs up. This is nice. I'd make it again. Thinking about it, I don't think you would ever get tofu this crispy in the pan with this little corn flour and this little oil. Actually, it's really impressive.
Our next recipe is going to be using one of these. So we wanted to try a variety of recipes that we found online. We really wanted to try a kind of like vegetable focused recipe. We love broccoli, and also we kept seeing loads of broccoli recipes pop up, so we thought, why not? If we can find a simpler, tastier, easier way of cooking broccoli in our air fryer, then we want to know about it, and hopefully you guys too. So we're going to be making a very quick garlic and vegan parmesan roasted broccoli.
The last recipe we're making for this video is more of a green veg focused recipe, just like Freya mentioned. There's quite a lot of recipes for beige food like potatoes or battered foods. Well, essentially anything that would otherwise use quite a lot of oil can be cooked in way less oil with an air fryer. But the other thing the air fryer seems to be really popular for is veggies. Lots of recipes for things like broccoli, asparagus, green beans, all that kind of stuff. This recipe from Gimme Delicious looks amazing. Make sure to check out all of the original recipe creators linked in the description. Once everything has been added to a bowl and tossed and mixed, it goes into the air fryer for a super quick 8 minutes. I think the big selling point of these air fryers really has to be the convenience factor. If you've got the space in your kitchen, the air fryer is a great tool for cooking small batches of ingredients fast and simply. I could see us using an air fryer for doing things like crispy chickpeas for the top of salads, or tofu in like a weeknight dinner on a really regular basis. Our broccoli came out looking gorgeous and crispy, but still with a lot of its natural green colour. In fact, Freya thinks that this could possibly be her favourite recipe that we tried because of this. The air fryer really managed to catch all of the edges and crevices on the broccoli. With a little extra cheese to finish it off, our broccoli is ready.
One of the things I've noticed just before I even eat it is that like it's really nice how some bits are kind of like brown and crispy and then other bits are still really nice and green, because I feel like when you do it in the oven it kind of all goes crispy and dark, or like not at all. So this is like nice to have a little bit of both. That is really good. It's the same with how it looks, like some bits are kind of still really crunchy and then other bits have that kind of like crispy charred bit to them. It's so good. So as we said, we found these recipes on the internet. They're not our recipes.
If you like the look of some of these recipes, then make sure you go and check out the creators of these recipes in the description box below.
We'd love to know what you guys think about air fryers. Do you guys have them? Do you love them? Do you hate them? Kind of what are your like go-to recipes that you make in your air fryer at home? Because we've got our air fryer for a bit longer, we've borrowed it, and we are going to try out some more of our own recipes and share them with you. So we'd love to know like what kind of air fryer recipes you're looking for.
And don't forget to hit subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and we'll see you in our next video.
Bye.